Kia ora. Welcome to Cup of Tea and a Yarn. My name's Jill and I'm found on Instagram and Ravelry as Tea and a Yarn. Today's the 12th of December and I'm back in my craft room here in Tauranga in the Bay Plenty of New Zealand. Aotearoa. Counting down to Christmas holidays. I can't wait. One more week at work and then it's we break up for Christmas and summer holidays, so from the 18th through to the 6th of January. It's 18th of December, 6th of January, so it's quite nice. Got a little bit of a holiday planned. I might do another one of these before Christmas though, because I've got some other things I want to try. I saw off Fiber Hustle. They recommended another podcaster. And it was Just Make It, something like that. And he showed you how to do piecework and make a Christmas tree. And it looked easy, and I thought I can do that. So I might have a play with the sewing machine the week after next. And so if I do, I'll show it off. I have a couple of finished things. The hats seemed to go down really well, so I ended up taking 11 knitted hats down to Wellington last weekend for my friends. And I think they liked them. I didn't take enough. There was 13 people there, so that's a shame. I owe a couple of hats, perhaps. Maybe they're not hat people. It was a lot of hat knitting. I learned a lot about knitting hats and about basically, if I'm using DK, how many stitches to cast on and how long to make it like a kind of average head. Everyone could fit the hats, so that was quite good too, because I'm a loose knitter, they kind of get stretchy as well. Didn't block them though, so fingers crossed if they ever get washed, they'll be all right. Okay, so I'll start in with my finished stuff. I've had a couple of really crazy weekends. I've just dropped something for a minute. So yeah, couple of busy weekends with retreat the weekend before last, and then last weekend down to Wellington. Went to a couple of nice crafty shops which I'll share because I did buy something. First though, I know it's not a Kiwi Summer cacao, but it's something that's been on the needles for a while and I want to get it off, so I finished. This is the Baltic Summer that I was doing in a rainbow, so I've got, there we go, red and yellow and pink and green, orange and blue. No, it's not really. It's Richard of York gives battle in vain. And ta-da! So that's my rainbow. What I did, I made up a story to cover up my laziness. I got bored with the zigzags. It was taking forever, so I stopped zigzagging. So at the beginning of the rainbow there was a storm. It was all zigzaggy. Then the zigzag stopped, so the storm stopped and we went into a bit of a calm bit, and then it faded away with a wiggle, so there's a little bit of a lace edging at the end. The pattern kind of morphed from Baltic Summer through to the Hitchhiker, so I still carried on with the, I should get this bit, I still carried on with the teeth at the bottom, and finished off with, it's a Somebody in Puni, and it's a one that I've tried doing a lot. If you might be Storm and Puni, it's a free pattern on Ravelry, but it just had a nice little lace edge, so I just pinched the lace edge from that to give it a little bit of a wave. And that's finished. I have a couple of ends to weave in, but it's all been blocked. Stretched a lot in blocking. It's a weird shape, but I think more scarf-like really than shawl-like. Really, it's quite long still. But I quite like how the two ends are different. So I've got the wavy and the spiky. Yeah. So that is a finished object. which I'm quite happy about. I quite like it. It's kind of oh, it could like almost be summery, a summery little throw over the shoulders perhaps. My next finished up project is spinning. So I started this the weekend before last at retreat. So this was the merino that, perhaps merino silk that I got from Linnet Fibre to Go, and it was the purple and lime. So I spun it as it came, and then I did a chain ply, Navajo ply. So you know when you do like a crochet. It's about 100 meters, so it's probably a bit fatter than DK, I can imagine. It hasn't been washed yet, it might fluff up. So it's not a lot, but it's enough to make something. And it's so pretty, it's so beautiful, it was so easy to spin. I've been trying to do my spinning more, whether it's fat or thin, but just more consistent. So it's not too bad, I don't think. I think it's kind of consistent. I quite like it. And of course with that kind of ply, it gives that nice roundness. So yeah, that was, I don't know what I'm going to make with it. It still needs its bath. So we'll see what it turns out like after its bath, whether it fluffs or not. It's soft. That was my second finished object. Loads of work in progress, so I'm not going to show you everything. I'll just show you one of the things that I've been making. Totally not Kiwi one now. I talked to you about this probably last month, and it is out of the Carlos book, The Favourite Designs, and it was the soft yarn teddy bear. Push myself in the face. And so I did it. Well, I haven't. Oh, don't show children. It's a headless bear. So it's got arms, legs, body, and ears, and I've just started on the head. Didn't quite do what. Oh, sorry. The yarn is Admiral Ardruck, a shop and wool one. Mr. Sockwoy. So they suggested that you make everything the same, so arms and legs the same, but I quite like it that it's not exactly the same. I like that because the stripes are so fat. Did I talk to you about this? I can't remember. I remember I've just talked about it with somebody else. Because the stripes are so fat, I quite like that it's kind of different. Yeah. So that it doesn't, it's, yeah, not matchy-matchy. The head, of course, will be matchy-matchy because it will go out like that. But I guess well, it's not even. There's only that little bit there. But some of I could make that the back because at the front it's like that. It works right. Just the little dots didn't have enough to go all the way around, and it ran out. Yeah. So that's that. So that's going to be from my friend's baby. She finishes work in February. She's due in March. So that's quite good. I've got that, and I have bought some baby merino yarn to make a little blanket to go with it, which once I decide on what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to knit it or crochet it, might be a crochet one, I'll show it to you. My other work in progress, I'm very excited, as I showed you last week, that I learned how to do Kitchener stitch thanks to Kylie, and also with my Afterthought heel. So this is the Geek Sock by Ray S. Leong, which is a New Zealand designer, and it's done in Mrs. Peacock Yarns. Mrs. Peacock Yarns, this colourway is called the Library, so it's self-striping. I finished the heel and I recreated my Kitchener stitch there, thanks to Kylie's fabulous little hands-on lesson, and which I videoed. I may have done it. I think I mean, it's better than the first few times I've done it, so when I was by myself. So it's not too bad, I don't think. It's certainly not as thicker a seam as when I made my friend's rainbow socks. So there we go, one sock finished, and the other one I just put the lifeline in for the afterthought heel, just there. So that's down to there. So now I'm just doing the foot. So I've got a few stripes to go, and then I'll start the toe decrease. And yeah, might have these finished for a Christmas present, perhaps. Maybe. I love them. Maybe I'll keep them myself. So anyway, they are the Geek Socks. Another free pattern on, I think it's a free one, on Ravelry. If not, it's only probably a couple of dollars. Yeah, so this is all my Kiwi Summer Cacao stuff in there. Kiwi yarn, Kiwi designer. I haven't brought it to show you, but my cat squares cushion is coming along great. I've finished all the cats. I started again all from scratch because I decided to not follow what the designer suggested, and I used 4-ply for the squares. It was going to be too thin. My cats, I just grabbed whatever DK I had, and it kind of looked a bit weird. So yeah, start again. All the cats are finished. I mean, the crochet bit's finished, the embellishment bit isn't, and I'm about halfway through the squares, and I'm really liking how it's looking now, so I'm really happy with that. So I've got another 8 squares to go. Then I think I'll block the squares before I sew the cats on, and probably embellish the cats before they get sewed on as well. So I think the plan will be do the 8 squares, put them to block. Whilst they're blocking, I can start embellishing the cats, sew the cats onto the squares, sew the squares together. Easy. And it didn't take long. So once I put my mind to it, and I kind of remembered how quick crochet grows, a couple of days really, instead of knitting, I was crocheting, and yeah, a couple of days I had all the cats done and 4 of the squares, and I did another 4 yesterday. So yeah, goes quickly. Might have that finished maybe next week. I don't know. Could be. Depends what I decide to do tomorrow. I quite like to finish the Headless Ted because it's a bit sad seeing. I'm just looking at its crotch because it looks like I haven't sewed it up well, but it's fine. Something caught my eye there. Yeah, so I don't like seeing Headless Ted, so I'd quite like to finish him, and also the squares. Yeah. My other works in progress haven't gone well. Nothing really. I mean, I did a lot of knitting with my Baltic Summer. That was my knitting. What have I got? Page of Wands, Sassy Socks, and Clara Jane. No change. I didn't even do a row on my Clara Jane this time. But that's okay. I think finishing things is good too. So I haven't started anything new. Actually, I started a lot of things and then I frogged them. I haven't told you that I got my yarn advent calendar. If you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, you'll see that I've been posting little 20-second opening my yarn videos every day. I really wanted to, my idea was I'd start knitting and so that I'd have something finished by the 25th, so for every day. And I wanted to do it was called the Outliner by Hedgehog Fibers pattern. And I started it and I didn't like it. I didn't like how it was looking. And so then I'm denied, so I frogged that. Then I started another one. What else did I start? I started something else. I had a bit of a pattern in it, which I can't remember. So the outliner I got to I got 3 mini skeins in before I frogged it, so 3 days worth of knitting. My other one I got about 4 days on because I was striping it, and then I just didn't like it. I decided, no, I didn't not like it, but I didn't love it. So what I decided to do was I'm going to not do a colour bath and do every day. I'm gonna get to the 25th and then look at all my colours and think what would I like to make, and what kind of order would I like to put it in. I guess with the 3 different dyers, it's like they're doing every third day is their colour. So perhaps if I look at that, it could be more cohesive. I don't know. In my eyes, anyway. I'm sure that I know that some people are just like knitting and it'll look fantastic. Then I'll go, oh, I should have just done that. So luckily I've got my colours and I know what days they come in. So should I just go back and do that? I can. In the meantime, though, I am, when I'm opening them, I'm taking my skeins and making little balls. I still got today's and yesterday's. And as I'm unskeinin, I'm wrapping it around my phone about 25 to 30 times. And with the stuff then I'm making the balls with what's left over. And with the stuff I've taken off and put around my phone, I'm making mini pom-poms. So these are my mini pom-poms so far. As I say, I've got those 2 to do. And I love the pom-poms. So the pom-poms were my mum's idea. Because I was going to make a wrap, or I was going to make a jersey, or I quite like and I know that someone is making it. Amber O'Brien does an advent calendar, cardigan, should I say. So it kind of, yeah, does the whole advent thing and comes up, looks amazing. I haven't seen the colours that they're doing yet because they're putting the pictures in black and white. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Mum said, she's, rather than making something that you already have, like jerseys or wraps and that sort of thing, what about something that you can have out all the time, or something that will remind you of this particular Christmas Advent calendar? Because as you know, it was a bit of a investment for me. So I was like, and I was like, will I do bunting? So I kind of thought bunting. And I wasn't sure, so I started looking at, garlands and that sort of thing. When I do little hearts, in the meantime, I was just wrapping it's about 9 or 10 meters off the skeins and having that separate. Then on Tuesday or Wednesday, I decided I was going to make pom-poms, the mini pom-poms, and I'm so glad I did because they look delicious. And I'm going to make a garland out of them. So it's going to be 25 baby pom-poms, which I can either use to put on the Christmas tree, or I can just hang over a mirror, or whatever I want. Yeah. And then it will be my yarn, just seeing a bit that I haven't cut there. It'll be my yarn advent is there all the time. It's so pretty. It's like a little bunch of flowers. So there is 10 there. So I'm going to have like 25. That's so cool. I'm happy. So I'm making them on a fork. So I'm just making, putting the yarn over and doing it, cutting it, and trimming it. Some of my trimming's not very good, and I just have to go back and like make sure they're kind of round. But because there's like 9 meters of yarn in it, they're quite fluffy, which is quite cool. Yeah, so that one's got a flat head. See, I'm not quite sure what to do about that. When they're hanging like that, though, you can't really tell. What I'm going to do with the rest, who knows? We'll see. but that's, at least I feel like I'm making something right now with them, which is great. Okay, other things. I have had some purchases and I've also had some acquisitions. So a lovely friend was cleaning out all of her yarn and had stopped crocheting. So I met her in Auckland probably, I don't know, probably about 6 weeks ago now. And she gave me a load of stuff out of a boover car. And I came home with it, and then because Mum and Dad were coming to stay, I've kind of packed it all away. So I haven't had a chance to go through it yet, but I know that there is a couple of big crochet projects. One of them's almost finished. It just needs some center bits. So it's lots of motifs joined together. They're quite a gap in between, so then there's another motif to go in there, so that's the bit that needs to be done for those. So I've got a week off. I've got a lot of things I want to do in that week before Christmas, including going through the yarn that she very lovingly gave me, and the crochet projects, and just seeing what's there, and yeah, having a bit of a stock take, I guess. Yeah, I meant to say something about that 2 times ago, and it's yeah, it got put away, so I kind of forgot. It's like, oh, that's right. Lovely present. I did a couple of purchases while I was in Wellington. I got it's not knitting, but it kind of looks, well, it is knitting. It's jerseys. I got these Christmas tags from Sita in Wellington, and they're little jerseys. They were so cute. So I've got, yeah, Christmas tags for my Christmas presents. So Sita was on Thorndon. Across the road from there is Nancy's Stitch Studio. Nancy's Stitch Studio is a very cool shop. It's got lots of everything. It's got like any kind of quilting things. It's got little tapestries and all sorts of things. Got lots of yarn. I did buy one ball because, you know, I think I've talked about this. I can't go into a yarn shop without buying at least one thing. Or should I say, I can't walk out of a yarn shop without at least one ball of yarn. So I did buy one ball of yarn. I bought a Zauber ball because Zauber balls are always handy. And this one, I quite liked the colours on it. It's cool. Nice colours, kind of summery, I guess. And I think I liked it because it was really random. Like some of them are like do a gradient, but this is like, yeah, totally random. So I got a Zauber ball. So that's the second Zauber ball I bought lately, isn't it? And the other thing I bought is a tapestry kit. And I know, oh, needlepoint tapestry. I know that my recent trial at embroidery kind of failed. It's failed. Has it failed? I haven't taken it out of its hoop. It's still in its hoop. I still have my cotton, still have my needles. Maybe it's just having a rest. I haven't decided. Maybe one day I'll pick it up again. In the meantime, though, I know I like these ones because I've done 4 of them. And I had another one, but I didn't know where it was. So it's also a really nice little portable thing to take when you're away. So Jennifer Pudney is a Wellington artist, and she used to have her own kind of factory to sell from, but I think now Nancy's in Wellington does it. So this one's called Wind Dancer 2. I didn't see Wind Dancer 1, but Wind Dancer 2. I thought very Wellington, because Wellington's windy. But yeah, it's so cool. They're not particularly. It was a bit of a treat. It wasn't like they're about $45, so not dead cheap. But you get everything in it. So all of the cottons, the printed canvas, and your needle. So you just go away. It's a half a cross stitch to do it, and I know this because I've done 4 before, and I really like them. I love the ones that she does. So this is like the postcard size. She also does cushions, which are amazing as well. So yeah, and then my first one I bought in Wellington was probably about, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. It was a long time ago, maybe even before that. It was before I knew Andrew, so it was a long time ago. Yeah, so that was what I got from Nancy Stitch Studio. We also went to Minerva, which is a very excellent craft bookshop, which is in, oh, it's not Cuba Street, but it's a bit further up. I don't think it's Cuba Street, around that area anyway. Gorgeous books, gorgeous everything crafty that you'd ever want in a book. And they also have fabulous felt kits that you sew together to make little things, and the llamas were beautiful. And I almost succumbed, but it's like some of the stitching on it was so fine. It was more embroidery, and it's like, if I buy it, I'm either never going to make it, or if I make it, I might stuff it up and then it'll be a waste. So I didn't buy it, which I thought was very sensible. But it didn't help that I just bought a new frock as well. Yeah, so that's that. That's all of my things. I suppose future things, future thoughts are, so I've got next week at work and then the week after. So I've got Teddy to finish, socks may get finished, pom-poms to make, and my cat squares. I'd quite like that to be done. That's not too much, is it? I know that under the Christmas tree is an Ashford blending board, which I bought and then gave to Andrew to give me for Christmas, so I haven't opened it yet, because if I had, I mean, nothing else would have been getting done. I've been playing with that. I did, as you saw, I got quite a bit of fibre at retreat to play with, and I recently found some more just in the garage hanging out. So yeah, that'll be after Christmas kind of playing, although we are going away, so we're going to have a bit of a holiday. We're going to go down to Christchurch. So we're flying down to Christchurch and we're catching the train from Christchurch up to Picton, and then we're going to do the ferry over to Wellington and then have a couple of days there and fly home. So just like about 5 or 6 days away, which is quite nice. It's Andrew's first holiday since last year. Yeah, so it's quite nice. I mean, I've been away a couple of weekends, but it's good to have a good break. I'm thinking this might be a nice take away with me project. I know it's going to keep me busy for a week at least, probably a lot longer. And if I take those and a pair of socks to knit, I think I should be all right, rather than thinking I have to take, 10 knitting projects, which is what I normally do. It's like, I'm going away for 2 days, I need 10 things to knit just in case, or crochet. Could take the blanket, that might be too big. Right, okay, and I think that's it. Let's finish there, and I might see you within the next 2 weeks, so before Christmas. Fingers crossed I try that piecework kind of Christmas tree thing. I'll put a link into the, like, either down below or in my normal place on the website about that YouTube channel that I found this morning after watching Fibre Hustle. If you watch Fibre Hustle, you can look at the bottom of theirs and it shows you it too. I think that bloke is in, that Johan, his name is, and I think he's in Australia. Yeah, but I'm quite excited by it. I got quite enthusiastic and inspired. Okay, now I'm blah, blah, blah. So I'll say goodbye, and hope you're all well and you've all got your Christmas underway in one form or another, either Christmas presents done, Christmas tree up. You're allowed to today, 12th. We put ours up on the 1st always. And what else? Yeah, you're all happy. Looking forward to a break. Okay, cool. And I'll talk to you later. Kaki day.